saying, well, I'm going to go on a diet. Who does that? Man, I'm hungry as hell. Perfect time to start my diet. Who does that? You see a sign, you out traveling, next gas station 112 miles. You look down, you see your car's on E, you see a gas station coming up, oh, the hell with it, I'll catch the next one. You don't do that. The average person evaluate problems based on the immediate effect. They don't think about the long-term effect. I evaluate things in my life based on long-term effect. I do. I don't evaluate problems based on, well, if I do this right now, if I jump off this cliff, I'm gonna fall immediately. If you say, hey, debt is down at the bottom of this cliff, I'm not gonna jump now because I'll get to the back end to this quickly. But what do instead? You take the elevator down to the debt. That's what you do. That's what you do. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I make sure that everything in my life, I reap the benefits on the back end. People, these are 100% pure grade A facts. A lot of you men here today, you've done this. You've done this. You, you was out and about. You seen that girl. She had a very big booty. You was pumping gas. She was at the gas station. You pulled up in your Mercedes Benz. You got the AMG package. You put your rap down because the booty was big. Then you turn around and you hook up with the girl later on. She knows, due to the fact that you got that car on her end, she is saying to herself, I'll get a lot of brag credit with a nigga with an AMG. I'll get my brag credit up. Don't realize that you are in her life. You are in her life simply to offset all the nonsense that's going on as well. But to you, she's a piece of S. But to her, you're the everything. You're the come up. You're the, oh yeah, well, yeah, I used to suck dick, but now I got a nigga with an AMG. You don't know that. She comes to you, sell you the story that her 3 kids, the 3 kids by 3 different men is all them. You buy it, but you don't care because you just want some booty. And then things get serious. My former co-host, Joy Green, said, every woman knows when they're ovulating. My former co-host, Joy Green, said, pregnancy is never a mistake. That's what she said. Then all of a sudden you do a poke and stroke. I'm laughing at something else. You do a poke and stroke. She gets pregnant. And now you're like, oh, well, this bitch this bitch that. Nah. And then you call me up and you think I'm a co-sign that. I don't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I remember one dude, he paid me. We did a one-on-one, and he said, Chris, man, I'm that dude. Just so what you said. I met this girl. She had a big ass. I don't have no big ass stories. I don't have none. I don't. But then what happens is what you admire now on the back end, you end up bending over. That's what your back end is. That's a you thing. That's a you thing. You have to be smarter than your problems. You have to. All right. Child support court, custody court, all smoke and mirrors. You guys will post up. You will allow the courts to tell you that this is how it's supposed to be. This is the way it goes. That's what they're selling, and you're buying. I buy it too. I'll walk on. I'll walk on by it. I'm not buying that nonsense. I never did. People, I'm gonna tell you something. As president and founder of this organization, I went to court the first time, and I said something is not right. Something ain't right with this. Something is not right. Something is off here. Something. Size. Too many squeaking wheels on this cart. I'm glad you asked that. Jessica Wright says, what about visitation? I don't think you was here in hour number one, but I asked, what law governs family court that says and talks about visitation? Let me tell you what the new breakthrough in visitation was. Well, if you get a restraining order, it covers the child now too. That is unconstitutional. But you guys buy it all the time. You guys go to court and you participate in that. Let me reiterate something to you guys over here as I kick this now on the WNFL National Fathers League Talk Radio. Check this out. In 2012, Atia Bradley I went to court for a restraining order that was 2 years old. When I went into court for a restraining order that was 2 years old, the judge, what they do is they try to intimidate you. Excuse me. They intimidate you. And what they want you to do is to be intimidated. I need you guys to follow me right now. So what the judge said to me, because when I got to go to court, I send cocky and arrogance along with me. When I go to court, I help the courts understand, you listen, I appreciate you guys inviting me here to this, but I'm not here to participate in this. I just want Atia Bradley to present the evidence, and then y'all could do whatever, because I'm not playing those games. So they sent me, I found out that I had a restraining order because Atia Bradley said that the show that I did titled, I'm Sorry, Miss Bradley, and in that show, I was going to tell the world, and this is how I realized that when you talk about issues, women, they run and hide. There's the Hair Club for Men. In the Hair Club for Men, their motto is, I'm not just the president, I'm also a client. So I realized then that, wait a minute, something is strange here. Atia Bradley had me thinking that she was real strong in her spot. But if you were so strong in your spot, everything that you did to me, why is it a problem when I talk about it? That's when I realized the Achilles heel of a woman's actions. I need y'all to follow me now. What the fuck is going on here? I realized, whoa, this woman don't seem to want to talk anyway. So I did a show based on it, and when I did the show, Tia Bradley took me to court via a restraining order. When white people, normally what happens is they file an injunction for a cease and desist. They don't run the family court. Family court don't have no jurisdiction over a cease and desist. But this is how women use the court system, because it's their all-purpose get a nigga system. I need y'all to follow me. So I goes to court for a restraining order. But before I went to court for this restraining order, I told them, hey, listen, I'm not coming here for all this nonsense. I'm coming here for one purpose and one purpose only. I'm coming here because I don't ever remember purchasing a silver 9mm handgun. I don't remember giving this woman a black eye. And I don't remember living at this address. This is what I'm coming to court for. All the rest of that nonsense, y'all can have it. This is what you're going to do. Well, when you send the judge a letter by name, they simply send it to another judge because they don't want me to think that they want me to come there and say this. They don't think I have the guts to say this. So when I addressed it to judge whoever, they send it to another courtroom. So now everybody going to act like, well, you didn't send us a letter. We don't know, blah, 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 blah. But when I got there, I said, oh, I see what's going on. For the mere fact that the courts reacted to me, I knew I had my foot up their ass. I need y'all to follow me. Stick with me now. Stick with me. This is where wow. This is where it gets complicated. This is where it gets real complicated. All right. So I goes to court. Go back that up. Back that up. Ah. Yeah. Trash. Delete that. 9 there. Delete both of those. Okay. So just picture that. So picture that. I go to court and we're in court and they're trying to convince me that I should be scared. This is what they're doing now. All right? Pay attention to what I'm saying. Because remember what I said. There are no laws governing family court. Remember I said that. Remember. There are no laws governing family court. You guys, you go there and you participate. Excuse me. You guys, you go there and you participate in stuff out of fear. That's what you do. So I'm in court. And what they did was real slick like, and I appreciate them being slick because you have to be slick. This woman put a restraining order on me for the topic of a show. And the courts were like, well, we got one. So I sent them a letter, once again. Hey, look, man, it's nice that y'all having this thing. I'm cocky and arrogant. I'm not trying to hear this stuff. Okay. So I goes there and they're like, well, Mr. Smith, if in fact You are found guilty in this restraining order. You will not have custody of your kids. And soon as he said that, I said, I don't understand. And he thought he was going to have the power to tell me how this works. I said, I don't understand, because I don't have nothing to do with this person or her child. I said, you're actually trying to restrain me for something that I'm not trying to restrain. I haven't seen this woman in 6 years. I haven't seen her daughter in 3. So I don't understand this process. So, like I said, remember now, this is the only evolution of custody court, is to incorporate the restraining order. Stay focused on what I'm saying now. So they're actually saying, well, we're going to use this and you may not be able to. Okay. Once again, I don't remember purchasing a silver 9mm handgun. I don't remember living at this address. I don't remember giving this woman a black eye. Now, why am I saying that? Because in saying that, all the things that this woman got a restraining order on were false. And the Constitution states that any judgment rendered via false application, the courts must throw out that judgment. Everything is a judgment, people. If you get a judgment for, if you got to pay child support, you got a child support judgment. Everything in court is a judgment. So I basically was telling them in hindsight, I just didn't come out and say it. You know, and I know that this restraining order has no merit because everything is false. So the first thing that Atia Bradley does when she gets to cross-examine me, why don't you come see your daughter? The custody order is still the same. Once again, the judge yells at me, Mr. Smith, don't answer that. Atia Bradley, we're not here for that. I said, hold on, let me answer that. I said, Your Honor, don't be confused by this. And I always look at the jury. Don't be confused by what this woman is saying. She only saying that because I am no longer entertained by what she has taught her daughter to disrespect me. She has taught her daughter not to obey her father. I'm cool with that now. But once again, this is the game that they're playing. So the judge asks me, Mr. Smith, before we get started with this hearing, is there any evidence that you would like to submit before we get started? I said, well, hold on, partner. I don't think you got my letter that I sent, my answer. I'm not here to submit anything to you. You're here to submit to me. And I looked at the jury. I said, because I never owned a silver 9mm handgun. I don't ever remember purchasing one. I don't remember giving this woman a black eye. I remember her putting me in a hospital, but she didn't put that on there. I'm looking at the jury. In this address in Union, New Jersey, where is that? I don't ever remember owning or living at this address. So I'm not here to play this game. I'm here for you to tell me why you gave this woman a restraining order, and then what merits did you give this woman a restraining order? That's what I'm here for. Okay, well, I take it you're ready to get started. I said I am eager. The judge said, yeah, I can tell. You guys, once again, you go to court and you participate in laws that don't exist. Now, Atia Bradley put all these lies in there. So what am I going to do? Am I going to go to the court? I never gave her a black eye. All questioning and being spineless like a bitch. No. I'm saying, hold on, partner. I'm Todd's son. I don't know what she told y'all. I'm not here to participate in these shenanigans. Hurry up. Y'all fucking with my time. You fucking with my time. As the rapper, this is not my thing, so I don't want to take credit for it. Yo, it is funny as hell when he says this. What's his name? He's a battle rapper. God damn it. I got to get his name because I want to say that I love the saying that um, I love the saying. I love when he says this because it has a profound statement when he says it. Um, really, I got to say this. What's his name? Uh, uh, um, Loaded Lux. His name is Loaded Lux. And every time he ends his rap, he says, this is what he says, and you guys probably know him if he said this. He says, "You cutting into my motherfucking time, nigga. You cutting into your mother's fucking time, nigga." And I like when he say that. And I kind of go to court with this air about me. You guys are cutting into my fucking time. But if I would have went there under the context of, I don't even live in New Jersey, but she lied and gave y'all a New Jersey address. I never purchased a silver 9mm handgun, but she told y'all I did. I never gave this woman a black eye, but I tell you what, since she said I did, I need to see the police report as well as her hospital records. And then remember, I took my jacket off and I flexed my muscle. And I turned to the jury and I said, if I punch you in the eye, you're going to the hospital. You guys, you go to court under the context of, I'm wrong, simply because she said it. And the reason why the courts allow all this is because the second that woman feels as though you're going to win, she starts, oh God, why y'all giving him custody? Why? And you guys sit down there and we're going to give you weekends and you got to come let us put a dildo in your anal cavity. Okay. Court's adjourned, and then you walk, and then what do? What do? You leave court a week later, then you call me. I've been listening to you for 2 months. I went to court Thursday. I keep telling y'all, call me before you go to court. But what you do, you figure, oh, I got this. You go to court and you let them make the cake, and then you say, well, they put too much salt in the cake. That's what you do. That's what you do. I don't do that. I'm not interested in none of that. That will never happen to me, ever. Ever. When I go to court, I take energy with me when I go. That's what I take when I go to court. I take energy. My energy is through the roof. And it's going to be like that for the rest of my life. I'm not going to court under the context of, oh yeah, I'm just going here to y'all gonna puppeteer me. You ain't puppeteering me at all. It would be my pleasure to go to court. It would be my pleasure to put a judge in his place. It'd be my pleasure, because I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. You're not gonna have me feeling guilty and then I'm coming in here playing like, oh yeah, well she said that. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. Once again, y'all, I got a child support challenge. If you're paying child support for $39.99, we have a challenge. We believe child support is unconstitutional because of the obligations and what the courts are being involved. Lincoln G gave his $40 contribution yesterday. Dedrick Champion gave his $40 contribution. Terrell James gave his $40 contribution. What's going on, Mr. Dux? Terrell, we are putting Bell County Court in Texas on notice, and Mel Walkie, he wants a signed autographed copy of this book here, which in all actuality is this book here. So I sent him a copy. I sent his copy of his book out to him yesterday, so he got that coming to him. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to this thing I call The Machine. I'm broadcasting to you live from League Studios. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you said I want to listen to this guy instead, and I definitely appreciate that. I'm going to read some comments right now. I mean, why not? I'm going to read some comments. Shut that off. Shut the Wi-Fi off, because when I use the Wi-Fi, it just loads it all up. I got my man Edmund Welch, Disgusted Dads. He's just dropping in a whole bunch of knowledge over on over to me via Facebook. All right, so gonna just glide through my comments as we put this hour number 2 into the books. These hours be going quick, man. Very interesting. Purple Rain says, "Good morning, brother. Want to ask you a question. I didn't want to get off topic, but I want to ask you, how could a mother sue a vaping companies for her son's death?" That's a good question. Um, so I'm gonna come at it like this. People for years, Philip Morris, the tobacco company, lied to everybody about the effects of tobacco. They lied about the fact that it caused cancer. They lied about the fact that they laced it with products that makes it addictive. Because of that, that's why people got the lawsuit. So prior to dying behind cigarettes, you didn't sue because you got killed behind smoking cigarettes, because there's actually a warning on the side of the cigarettes. But they are negligent in the fact that they lied about the it being addictive, and it causing lung cancer, etc., and all these things. They lied about the studies. All right. These vape companies, now, I don't know anything about vape. I don't smoke. But these vape companies, I think that they were wise enough to put all the possibilities out there. So, to answer your question, Purple Rain, go and look at the the uh, the small print. Go and look at the disclaimers of these vape companies. And if any of those companies said anything about may cause death, you have your answer right there. You have your answer right there. God damn it, man. Here's what I'm saying. Philip Morris, the tobacco company, set the precedent, and what they did was they helped everybody understand disclaimers in advance will shield you from a lawsuit. All right? Disclaimers in advance will shield you from a lawsuit. All right? So, how could a mother sue? It all depends on what disclaimers they have out front. Hope that answered your question. was made one buying it. Nobody told me. Okay. Louis the 17th, he said poor morals. V Boogie said top of the morning. Maxwell, he's here. He says good day to you, sir. Preach. Dave's here. He says good morning to you and everybody in the chat. Joe Smoke said, can a court protect my money from child support? You goddamn right it could. David says, child support cannot touch my SSI check. Purple Rain says, oh, I'm close to 50, be 48 in December. Making reference to what I said, when you turn 50, your brain just goes into a whole different thinking process. Jessica says, good morning. She says, family court sucks, big donkey dick. Oh my, Jessica, you kind of wild. Oh my. Coach says, facts. Everything I have accomplished was when I was single. As soon as I got into a relationship, everything goes south. Yep. I'm sorry to hear that. My man Dave says, I'm really getting tired of this life. The life is nothing but hell because I don't have a place to stay. I'm sorry to hear that, my brother. Let me talk to you about that for a second. And I hope what I'm about to tell you this morning, Dave, gives you some words of inspiration. I'm gonna read your comment again. David Bowman says, I'm really getting tired of this life. This life is nothing but hell because I don't have a place to stay. So once again, I'm really sorry to hear that. There's nothing that punches you in the teeth more than being down. David, I was homeless 3 times in my life. I was sleeping in the park some nights, and then I started with realizing and understanding that sleeping in the park in the state of New Jersey in October is not good. So then what I did, Dave, I rented a garage. And when I rented that garage was my shelter. I realized that I didn't need a house, I needed shelter. So I rented a garage. When I rented that garage, then I ended up getting a job at Home Depot. When I got a job at Home Depot, I lived in Orange, New Jersey in a garage, but Home Depot was in Paramus, New Jersey. That was 3 bus rides away. So if I had to be to work at 9, I had to leave my house at 5 in the morning. The reason why life is hell is because when the first thing that you need to, when you get down on your luck, Dave, is you need to prioritize, your steps. You can't go from homeless to a penthouse. You have to think. Once again, you can't go from homeless to a penthouse. You have to start categorizing your steps. When I got that job, it changed my life. But I know part of your story, Dave, we talked about this before. You live in New York City. Dave, I have 7 incomes. I'm not trying to live in New York City. I'm not doing it. It costs too much. I live in Virginia. I am not going to ever live in a place where it costs $1,500 a month to live, and I can't afford that. Good morning, may I help you?
Good morning. I was giving you a number by my mother. She said that you help with child support cases.
Yeah, we do. How you doing? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm great, man, as always. Listen, I do a show on YouTube right now. I got a show going on. It's a 3-hour morning show from 8 in the morning to 11. I'm gonna have to get your name and number, and I'm gonna have to call you back when the show is over. So, give me your name, please.
All right. Name is Jeffrey Parker.
You,
And my number is 757-701-0057.
did you say Jeffrey Parker?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Parker. I'll call you back about 11:45. Okay. All right, sir. You have a good one. Excuse me, y'all. We had a bit of a chill here in Virginia this morning. Arguably, hands down, the coldest morning of the season, and the coldest morning of the season. And I I came in here. It was kind of chilly in here, so I got the heat on, but still get little vast chills. Um, hey, I appreciate that. My man says doing God's work. Thank you so much. So, Dave, um, I'm gonna say to you, I'm gonna end it my thing to you with this, Dave. God damn it, man! How the hell did that happen? Wow. Hold on a second. Check this out. People, you can make the best moves in your life when you're up. You can't make moves when you're down. It's harder to make moves. Here's what I don't understand when it comes to living up north. I don't understand how, if you lived up there all your life, you stayed up there. I don't understand that. That's just me. And part of me not understanding is, thanks to the military, I have traveled all around the world. So it was easy for me to cut the umbilical cord to Newark, New Jersey. When you've lived all around the world, when you've traveled all around the world, you are open to places that you've been. Every time you go somewhere, check this out. Every time you've gone somewhere in life, you leave parts of your soul at that place. You kind of breadcrumb your soul throughout life when you travel. So what happened with me was, when I was in the military, I realized that when I went back home to New Jersey, I had I had places that I could reference, like when I lived in Texas, when I lived in Maryland, I could go back there. Part of me is still there. But what I know for a fact is, when I lived in Texas, I lived in a townhouse that had upstairs and downstairs right across the street from a lake. Excuse me. And my payment for that house, that townhouse, was only $325 a month. I know that when I lived in Texas, I lived somewhere in an apartment that had all the utilities included for $215 a month. You're not getting that in New York City. Now, of course, that was some time ago, and that place is now more money. But at that time, there was no place in New Jersey that had upstairs and downstairs townhouse for $325 a month across the street from a lake. I lived on Lake Drive in Cleveland and Killeen, Texas. All right. So because of that, when I went back home to New Jersey, my man D Boogie says $215 a month. That's my storage fee in New York. That's what I'm talking about. So I realized that if I wanted more for my money, living up north wasn't going to be it. When I go to North Carolina, I stop at the light. I look at a sign on the ground and it says 3-bedroom apartment, $450 a month. And I stopped and I'm staring at that sign like, what? This was just last year. There's a term called put yourself in harm's way. It's kind of like when I see an overweight woman say, I'm too blessed to be stressed. Yeah, but you're putting stress on your heart and putting stress on your joints because you're overweight. You're lying to yourself. Stress is in every category, not just some lame idea that you feel as though you done did everything wrong in life. Now you're going to get up in the morning and say, I'm going to lie to myself. There's a song, excuse me, and it goes, young hearts run free, never be hung up like my man and me. And then she says, it's my time now. Just a bunch of dumbass lies. Facts. I appreciate that. Digital says, much respect from Memphis. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. Thank you so much. Black Caesar is here. He joined us. He says, good morning, peeps in the chat. My man. So, you guys got to understand. When you put yourself in harm's way, it don't mean in front of a bullet. You can't, work at McDonald's and have a baby. Now you got two people trying to share one income. That's what happens when you do that. So Dave, embrace this moment in your life right now that you're going through. Embrace it. And here's what I mean when I say that. Make sure when you get back on your feet, you truly put this time in your life in your rearview mirror so far that it's a little speck. It's a dot. All right? Make sure of that. All right. Getting back to comments. Purple Rain said, it's hard to save money when you're disabled. When you get disability, excuse me. People, I'm going to tell you something. Purple Rain says, it's hard to save money when you get disability. You know why it's hard to save money when you get disability? Because you're disabled. Your thought process is disabled too. Your thought process is disabled. I wrote a book, and the name of that book is You're Broke Because You're Broken. Now, here's what I mean when I say that, Rain. People, all total, I've completed 7 books. I'm currently writing 6. Purple Rain says, it's hard to save money when you get disability. Do you know how I started my career? I started my career with a newsletter. And the name of that newsletter, for those that are subscribed to me on my Connect Pal channel, the name of my newsletter was The Struggles of Man. And what I used to do in my newsletter, The Struggles of Man, I simply used to write about what I'm doing here today. Because YouTube wasn't out at that time in 2004. So I wrote newsletters and I used to hand them out in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Newark, New Jersey, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So Rain, let me ask you a question. You mean to tell me you can't write about your disability? Nobody wants to hear your story? If that's what you think, I have to beg to differ. Because you're here today because I'm telling you about my story. Just kicking facts, people. Just kicking facts. Black Caesar said, Chris, this show title is official because the child support is a dog and pony show. The objective, if the conscious man enters the doors to know, it's all about a contract. These are facts, people. These 100% pure grade A facts. All right. We're talking about child support, custody court, smoke and mirrors. You guys fell for it. That's a you thing. That's a you thing. You know what? I forgot. I got some comments over on comments over on Facebook. I got to read those comments. Let me read the comments because my man Edmund Welch, he's here. He says, I always ask black men why they think that the courts order child support payments from 96% unemployment segment of the community. Why actually believes that the court expect black men to see, hold on, black men to be capable of paying the same child support as ordered as capable, willing white men. That's a very, very unique perspective. I wish I could, I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to post that on my social media. My man says you don't fight the law, you expose it. You done, Edmund. You done, brother. You done. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. You're done, brother. Look below my Cash App. Look below for my Cash App on my PayPal. If you're not going to give me a thumbs up, give me my dollar. Give me my dollar. Eric said, Chris, you got to give the game on how to protect your small business from child support. Okay. Don't mind if I do. So Eric says, Chris, you got to give the game on how to protect your small business from child support. By the mere fact that it's your small business, it's protected from child support. I can simply say this and answer Eric's comment. People, when you go to court for child support, they send you a caption. And the caption looks like this. Oh, you can't see it. Damn. Oh, well, Eric is on Facebook, so let me show it to Eric. It has Shaquita versus you. It don't have Shaquita versus you, plus your business, plus your income, etc., etc. So by the mere fact that you have a business, it's got nothing to do with child support. Nothing at all. Not even a little bit. Nothing at all. You're not going to ask me about my income. If I can give you an example of that. Atia Bradley came to court one day with all my company's records. See, he has a business. The judge says to me, "How about that, Mr. Smith?" I said, "How about what? What is she insinuating?" I said, "Your Honor, when it comes to that business, get the people in here that owns that business and talk to them. I'm not going to answer to that business." That was my comment to that. Protect your business from, your small business from child support? When did they ever have authority over it? Authority over you, for that matter. People, I have a child support challenge. I have a child support challenge. My child support challenge, I'm challenging courts for $39.99. I'm going to need your, of course, payment, your name, case number, and authorization to sign your name on the documents that we send to your jurisdiction. Remember that. Remember that. Stop going into court, allowing them people to have them thinking that this is what it is. It is what it is. All right, people, I am going to take a break. We are 19 minutes over hour number 3, but it's okay. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back with hour number 3. Y'all know what I'm going to do. Y'all know what I'm going to leave y'all with. Stop acting like, oh, whoa, whoa, let me see something. I got something that just came in on a message. Oh. She said, "Why do I keep trusting people?" All right. I'm going to take a break. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna come back with hour number 3, and we're gonna kick this thing off. Y'all know how I do. I like to leave y'all with some Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is my man. I paid off $81,000 in debt last year, and I owe it all to one Mr. Dave Ramsey. For anybody that say anything bad about Dave Ramsey, I am a pit bull for this man. I love and appreciate his methods. So I'll be right back, y'all. Dave Ramsey.
Powering on. Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
Mary is with us. Mary's in Kentucky. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, fine. How are you?